If you got to the root, you see years of abuse, abandonment. So you deal with the wounded
Uh,
child, and
would you
that
say,
is healing.
yeah, would you say that dealing with mental health issue could be a complex terrain to navigate?
Absolutely. That's why it
Yeah,
takes different specialists. People
yeah,
specialize in different areas of mental health. It's so broad.
it is broad. And one of the things that I'm seeing is that being in a state of poverty and not knowing how to escape that in of itself can put you down a pathway where you don't have the best of mental health. So what I
Absolutely.
find myself talking a lot today about is the importance of putting yourself in a position of strength where you understand what is a healthy, wealthy state of mind. Healthy, wealthy state of mind. And there's a pathway to get there to understand wealth. As you said early on, there are many persons who are socialized into thinking that you're born poor and you're going to stay poor, and wealth is only for the selective few. And I happen to completely disagree with that.
I
I do
do.
believe
I
having
agree.
access, yeah, having access to the information, the ability to discern facts from fiction, the ability to apply yourself is going to help you to become a major game changer. To add to what you have said early on, I do believe that people are trained to apply themselves in selective areas and not to necessarily apply themselves where working smart makes a whole lot of sense. People are trained to apply yourself on the, you know, the 8 to 4, but people are not trained to apply themselves on attaining massive amount of wealth. So that's two different equation of how you apply yourself. And what I take from what you're saying, part of your role is to really get people to understand that, hey, there's a smarter way in which we play this game, and we play this game to build wealth. We play this game to not only build wealth for self, but it's to create generational wealth, and it requires a new way of thinking and a new way of doing things. And I do believe that as I listen to you, I can hear all of this is ringing true, what you're saying and the vision behind what you're doing. So again, I want to drop some flowers at your feet. I want to say kudos to you
Thank you.
for doing the great work that you're doing.
I
And
appreciate
and I know that we could never exhaust the richness of what you have to say in one interview. So I can see us doing multiple interviews as time progresses. But we are not finished as yet. I want us to talk a little bit more about some of what you're doing. Um, I noticed that you have some short and long term vision behind your operation. And I know part of that vision you want to launch a successful counseling operation. Help me to understand a little bit what a successful counseling business mean for you. Does it mean just starting it locally and dominating locally, or does it represent taking it national, taking it regional, and taking it international? Help me to understand what is your vision here.
Sure. First of all, my goal is to leave a legacy, a lasting legacy. How do I do that? I don't want to carry all this information to my grave. I want to empower others. So, someone said to me years ago, you need to produce others like you. I thought, oh, that's
Without a
scary.
doubt. Without a
Right?
doubt.
That's scary. A lot of people being like me, that's scary. But I knew what they meant, right? I knew what they meant. So my goal, what I envision is opening up a Shalom Wellness Center, unique, that's never been done before, because that's what I've learned. And I give honor to Dr. Bill Winston, who has been a true spiritual mentor for me. But he often talks about being functioning on fourth dimensional thinking. Fourth dimensional meaning, You operate on a level that exceeds your human capacity, and you do things that no one else has done. And I
Mhm.
meditated on that. And then I think about some of the people in the Bible who were extraordinary and who functioned on that fourth dimensional level, that did things that just did not make sense. I mean, science, rationale, all of that went out the window, you know. So David is an example of that. I mean, how do you take a stone, a small, smooth stone, and kill a giant? So for
Mhm.
me, it's the principle. Get the principle of the thing. And then there is Joseph, you know, who went to prison for a crime he didn't commit, falsely accused, lied on. He could have been broken, he could have been bitter, he could have been angry, but he refused. And that's something I think is important. That's a whole another lesson. But he ended up being second to none, second in command, I'm sorry, and operated on a level. He didn't have the experience, but he had the gift, he had the favor, he had the leadership abilities. And so I dare to think like that. And so my dreams that I see, and I realize the importance again of the thought process. You have to see it, you have to capture it in your mind and let your mind do the work of manifestation. But if it's not even there, you don't have anything to operate off of. So I envision Shalom Wellness Center and spa, where there is a counseling session of therapists, experts who are able to assist people in their healing, but there are also components of strategies that they're being taught on a daily basis, spa to teach people self-care, how to relax, how to take care of their vessels. I see that, but then I also see training a core of people with these strategies. These strategies are universal. First of all, I want to say that they're universal, they're global. So, teaching people how to take these strategies to their culture and build their communities, and teaching it on a global level, understanding the culture, for example, of Africa. I'm currently researching and studying Africa. I have a whole binder on just information about Africa, each country, the mental issues, the mental concerns, and then I've developed strategies to address those problems. Going into Africa, whether it's in person, whether it's online, and training, coming alongside and supporting them to build their country. But I have another powerful piece. This is probably one of the most profound things I've ever put together. This is fresh out of the oven. Psychological warfare devices that have been used to destroy people of color. The most powerful thing I've ever seen. Clearly, if I read those strategies to you, you would be able to see them right off. And you'd say, I've experienced that myself. Powerful. Teaching people these strategies. These are the very tools that have been used to dismantle your people, break down your people, oppress your people. These are the strategies. If you know them, that gives you power, because
Mhm.
now when you recognize it, you know how to dismantle it. You know how to resist it. But if you don't know, you can't fight an invisible enemy that you cannot see. My job again is to empower people with the knowledge and the understanding so they can break those